Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel to All the Movies, and today we are going to be the Frankenstein 2025, the one Guillermo del Toro did. For the one for Netflix, because we all know this one, so it's Netflix, but I saw this one in theaters the day of Halloween. Yes, I did talk about Frankenstein. I gave you my review and all, but this time we're going to review for this. I'm sure everyone saw the movie today because it comes out today and all, so we're going to give you my spoilers and my thoughts on it for the positive and the negative and all that, and how the performance for these actors did, and how Guillermo del Toro did for this direction for this film. So as you know, there's been a lot of different versions for Frankenstein. Frankenstein has been going on for over 100 years. It's been so long for it. The first one came out as a silent film, and then they remade it and all. So, but for me, I feel like for this kind of Frankenstein, they're trying to go from the novel, from Mary Shelley's book. And like I said from my last video, I never read the book and all, so I really don't know too much if they really did all the details from the book to the movies and all, but sometimes Hollywood changed up some stuff, so I'm not surprised. But for me, I feel like they did this film compared to the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from with Robert De Niro from the early 90s. So I'll be comparing both films from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein in 1994 and with the Frankenstein that Guillermo del Toro did for the 2025, because I feel they're both similar. They go from straight from the novel compared from the Frankenstein from the 1930s, because that one they did their own. I know they try to do it from the book, but you can notice that a lot of stuff they changed from the book to the film and all compared to these two. So that's what I'm going to do. So I say this one's going to be a spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen either movie, so you're probably going to have to not watch this and skip it, or skip it to the other one. So, but let's continue with this one. So I say for this one, like I said for Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, for what Guillermo del Toro did, like, yeah, it was really amazing. I did love how he did with the film. So you could always tell it's always Guillermo del Toro's film with the way his style he does in it is really gothic and stuff. Just like I loved how he did with Hellboy. So that's how, like, with Pan Lambric's film as well. I love both films, how he did them, and you can tell from this film. So what Guillermo del Toro did for this film is he had two parts. The movie was over 2 hours long, so but he had two parts. Of one part of the story, you see Victor talking about his side of the story for how he created the monster. Then the part two is where you hear the story from the creature, and also he tells about his part of the story. So that's what I love. It was something different, because usually you hear the perspective story from just the creator. You never hear much story from the monster. Just a little bit of pieces. I want to say like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the movie, which one you see. But for this one, you hear a whole story for the monster. So I loved about what they did for this one. And for Oscar Victor von Frankenstein, you see him when he was a child to as a grown man who started making the monster. You could kind of see, I wouldn't say trauma, but the life that he's been going through was tough as a kid and stuff. He had to obey his dad and stuff. His dad is strict and stuff, but his dad was really want him to become the man he should be, surpass and stuff. Victor didn't see that. He wanted to surpass his father, do much better. And once he's in school and stuff, he was like, okay, like, I could surpass this. Why can't we become more than what God has done for us? Because there's so much knowledge and stuff. So that's what he tried to do, like bring people from life to death to life and stuff, compared to like just if they can't live and stuff, why can't we do something a little better in life? And that's what I love about how Oscar did his performance for Victor Frankenstein. It's like the mad scientist. He, like, you could tell from someone who has the knowledge, the power of knowledge to know this kind of stuff, and they go overboard for this kind of stuff. That's why I love sci-fi horror movies and stuff like that, like Frankenstein and a few other sci-fi horror movies, that people who are like really smart and stuff, they go beyond what they should, and it's like, instead of be happy what they got and stuff, they want to go further past that, because they think that, okay, like, yeah, like, not trying to bring down religious or anything, but they're like thinking they could do something better what then God tried to do for us, and they could surpass that and stuff. So that's what some of them scientists for each horror movies were like this and stuff, and that's what I love about this. So you kind of see he went mad with it, but then at the same time you could tell he regret the stuff he made. Once they announced that Guillermo del Toro was doing this film, especially for Netflix, I know there was issues for, especially with the time with the writer's strike. So originally the cast who was going to be Frankenstein was going to be Andrew Garfield. but he dropped out because due to the writer's strike, because they already announced who was the cast. They had, of course, Oscar Isaac, who was going to be Victor, Mia Goth, who was going to be Elizabeth, and then, of course, Andrew Garfield. But Andrew Garfield dropped out of the project. So they got this guy named Jacob, which I didn't know anything about him. Never see anything from his films or show or anything. But I could tell he did a brilliant performance as the monster. And I feel like it was a perfect choice for him. I'm not like bringing down Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield is a great actor and all. But as you could tell, Andrew Garfield, his height is 5'10", so he would have been a short Frankenstein. And Jacob, man, he is 6'5", so he was perfect for this role because Frankenstein is a big monster, a real tall monster. And for him, he was a perfect height for it, compared standing with Oscar and Jacob, because Oscar's 5'9", and in one scene, if you could see that he's hugging the monster and he's on his chest and stuff, listening to his heart and all. So I feel like Jacob was the perfect role, not just being his height and stuff, but like I said, for acting on it. Just like, yeah, he at the beginning of the movie, he doesn't really talk. He just says one word. He says Victor constantly, and then Victor gets mad because he's like frustrated that he doesn't say more than just Victor. That's what I like for both. Like, yeah, they're not connecting well at the beginning. He loves his creation stuff. He loved that he did it. He finally made something that he could prove every scientist and them wrong. Even his father, if he was alive and stuff. But then he's like gets frustrated. Like he thinks he made a mistake. He's like, so he's like regretting his stuff that he made. And then his brother comes in, and then Elizabeth comes in to visit him and stuff. But then Elizabeth kind of connects with him, which, like I said, that's my negative part. That for Mia Goth, once I knew that they're bringing Mia Goth, I was like, okay, I felt like the only reason they're bringing her, because yeah, she was popular because she was doing the X movie, Maxine and Pearl. They picked her and stuff because she was doing some horror film and stuff. It's like, yeah, she did a brilliant performance and stuff, but I feel like hopefully they're not doing that just because she was getting popular and stuff to overdo it, because just like how they did Pedro Pascal, that they cast him for everything, and this year you see him like more than 5 films, and I was hoping they weren't going to do that to her just to bring her to play as the bride, because I felt like they were trying to force her to be the bride of Frankenstein. But I felt like her connection with the monster wasn't really connecting how I wanted, because I felt like it was going really fast. It didn't take her time. She met the monster when she got there, but I felt like it wasn't clicking like how I wanted. I felt like it was just going really fast and stuff. And then later at the end, a bride. Well, he didn't say a bride. He wanted like someone to connect and stuff. He wanted his other half, because he knew he was the only monster who could not die and stuff. He could still live. And I felt like for Mia Goth, they were trying to force it so much. That's how I felt about it. And they were trying to rush it. And I was hoping like, oh no, don't tell me they're going to rush it to make her turn into the bride of Frankenstein. Just because like she's popular and stuff, and hopefully they don't rush it. But luckily they didn't. But her character did die, but they didn't bring her back to life or anything. So I was like, that was good, because maybe later on in the future they could make a sequel for Bride of Frankenstein. But at the same time, I feel like I hope not. I was just hoping this could be a one and done thing. Her character die and stuff, and then later on we're just focusing back to the creature and Victor. After hearing Victor's story, we get to hear the creature side of the story, because like I said, he tried to destroy his evidence and all the stuff, even the creature, burning the castle down. And later on, the creature tells his side of the story. It's like, okay, he was calling out for his master, calling out for Victor, and like needed help and stuff, like teach him more and stuff, become something more, to show him that he's just more than a brain, his different body parts and stuff. He wanted to know more truth about his purpose of bringing him to life, because he sensed that he has different kind of dreams and visions, stuff like that, like different kind of men and stuff. What he is from different body parts and stuff. And that's what I love, because the parts that it shows, like from different men, soldiers and all that, he had put together and stuff. And it was so cool. Like, you really don't see it from other Frankenstein monsters, that he could heal and stuff. So it's really cool. So he was like, I wouldn't say invincible, but he's unstoppable. He is strong. He is everything. That's really cool, because I feel like you don't see that so much in other Frankenstein movies. You just see him like, okay, he's brainless and he's from different parts and stuff like that. Which I did love how Guillermo del Toro did this for the creature and all. And then yeah, he gets to learn how to speak and stuff once he starts learning about life and stuff, how the real world is. It's not like rainbows and sunshines and stuff. It's really dark. He learns that, okay, like he was hiding in this little shell um, at this little farm and stuff, learning and stuff, learning how to speak, learning how to read and write. Not write, but mainly read and stuff from this blind old man. So that's how he becomes friends with him and stuff. But he learns that no matter how different you are, you're still gonna be look different, look disgust. Well, I wouldn't say disgust, but he didn't use that word, but really different, that people will do anything just to like survive and stuff like that. That was like I really love about that part. But yeah, I love the design for the monster, how they did Frankenstein compared to like the other original Frankenstein. Like I said, from comparison from the Mary Shelley Frankenstein from the 1994 one, that one looks still like human. Like, yeah, he has scars and stuff, but with this one you could tell they had different body parts and how each of the parts were like look a bit rotten or like really dead and stuff, like grayish and stuff. But that one did remind me from Van Helsing's Frankenstein. I did love that design for the Frankenstein. That one was my favorite Frankenstein design compared to from the original 1931. So that one's my second, but this one's like my third favorite one. I know some people didn't like the Van Helsing one, but some people think different stuff, and I loved it. But I did love his eye part, and one of his left eye for some reason it goes red, especially in some parts of the scene when he's like mad and stuff. You can see. That's what I love about that part. So yeah, like I said earlier, compared to Mary Shelley's movie from 1994 and with this one, they're both similar. From that 94, his girlfriend is Elizabeth, and for this one, the 2005, they're not together. Elizabeth is with Victor's brother. So that's the big difference from that one and from this film. And from 1994, he was gonna marry Elizabeth, but the creature stopped him from that because he, like I said, he wanted another half, but he kills her and stuff and forced him to create her to be as his bride and stuff. But she didn't like the way she looked and stuff, so she killed herself. And from this one, she was shot by Victor because she tried to defend the monster. So that was like the big difference from these two films. Both Victors and both films, they realized the creature isn't the monster. The real monster is the man who did the monster. So both Victors realized they are the monster. But for the 2025, Elizabeth said it in the middle of the film, so it was kind of really too soon. It would have been better if they waited later on. And for the 1994, they said later on, at close to the end, that Victor, he is actually the monster and stuff. So yeah, so they're both different in comparison to say who's actually the monster and stuff. And then of course the ending, both had the same ending. They both die, and both then Victors die. But Victor and the creature, the monster realized that that's his father, and then Victor realized the creature is his son because he created and stuff. But then like at the end, for 2025, he walks to the snow, continues on, and sees the sunset. And then from the 1994, he dies with his father going down in this icy cold water. So that's the huge difference from both films, but they were both enjoyable. But I say my favorite one is the 2025 compared to the 1994. That's what I love it. But so like I said, for my ratings for the Frankenstein 2025 was 8.5 out of 10. And for the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the 1994, I give it a 4.5 out of 10. Because yeah, that one's enjoyable stuff, but it still has a lot of few elements that felt rushed and still needs to work and stuff. But it's still enjoyable. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you to watch that one. But that is all I have. Hopefully you guys liked this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the del Toro's Frankenstein. But don't forget to comment down below what you guys think of this film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? But other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.